Hi guys, so I'm finally back, but yeah, so recently for EU I haven't really been seeing a lot of follow through with my setup. So last week I actually didn't take any trades at all on EU. Well, I can just go briefly through it right now. So on Monday, as you guys can see, usually I want to, I wanted to take out one of the sides from Asian session and then buy it if it's from here, or sell it if it's from here. But it did play out here, but yeah, there's probably some other things that wasn't lining up with my strategy, so I didn't take that one. This one also, like, I wasn't even short bias, so I wouldn't sell here. And then here it was obviously like very overextended already, so here I probably would have wanted to short, but like I probably wanted to short from here, not buy from here, so didn't take that one. And this one as well, it was really close, but it didn't take out that high, so I didn't take this trade as well. So none of these trade really follow through with my exact strategy. Like if I really wanted to trade, I probably would have had to bend my rules a little bit to fit this kind of price action. So I didn't really take any trades on Euro USD in this week. I did take trades on Nasdaq though, so I'll just go through them right now. So I started trading on indices, and I usually trade London session or New York session, and they have their own strategies. As you guys might know from my previous videos, I have done one on London strategy and on New York strategy, so it's pretty much the exact same thing, just applied to this indices market. So we won't go too high up, but if you guys look at the shorts or look at TikTok, there will also be videos there about how I took the trade. But let's just go through Monday's trade. So on Monday, as you guys can see, we have this fair value gap right there. We were also bullish. So on Monday, I took a long. It was a no news Monday, so no news Mondays on indices, I know it's usually not much volume, so I just took the lowest target. So after tapping into that 1 hour fair value gap during London session, like around like 10, we took out London lows. During New York session, we took out London lows, and then we got into that 1 hour fair value gap right here before going up. So I just went down to the 1 minute, and there was a 1 minute fair value gap right there, and then I just targeted that high right there. So I'm not going to go down to 1 minute because it'll be too hard to scroll, but it's just a 1 minute fair value gap. And yeah, so it's just a pretty simple trade. Just need to keep in mind that because it's Monday and it's no news, so the volatility is going to be lower, so I'm not going to target all the way up there, even though that is a strong draw liquidity. Then moving on to Tuesday, we have CPI. I think it was pretty high impact news, so it went all the way down. So obviously during London, I didn't trade at all. But during New York, I waited for that news to come out. After it came out, I was still long biased, as you guys can see from before. So for this news one, we didn't actually tap into a higher time frame POI from what I remember. But we did sweep out higher time frame liquidity. So as I said before, that can be, in terms of like higher time frame, that can be one. So higher time frame liquidity taken. And then we also have right here higher time frame liquidity taken right here, this trade. And then we also have a strong draw on liquidity here and here, all-time highs. And then we also have an entry model, and then we also took out London session lows as well. So yeah, we took out liquidity, we took out higher time frame liquidity, we have a strong draw on liquidity, and then we also have a 5 minute fair value gap right there. So just lows, just stops around there, and then targeting that. So 1 to 2 on Tuesday. It's a pretty simple trade that day. Not much confusion. I think it was a pretty straightforward one. Now on Wednesday, there was 2 trades that I took. So I'll go over the first one. It's both in London. So on Wednesday, the first one is, remember that London strategy, I have 2 London strategies, right? The first one is to target either Asian lows and highs. And the second one is just after it sweeps Asian session lows or highs, then I'll go the opposite way. So the first one is targeting Asian session lows right here. So it's a reversal trade. So I have a long bias. It's obviously bullish right now, but I want to short because I want to short it to that London session lows, and because I think there's a higher time frame POI here, which is that 1 hour fair value gap, and I think there's also a 4 hour fair value gap right there. So because I think price is going to retrace into those fair value gaps, I want to trade into that. And because it's during 2 to 3 p.m., 2 to 3 a.m. New York time, so it's a pretty probable time for it to retrace. So that's why I took that trade. So the confluences is just, we have this 30-minute fair value gap right here that we respected. Then I go down to the 5 minute here, 5-minute, we have a 5-minute fair value gap right here as well, and we also have a 1-minute somewhere there, but I'm not going to go down to the 1-minute because it's too much. But after it tapped into that 5-minute, we got a 1-minute fair value gap around there, and I should have shorted there, but actually this one I had a loss. I just remembered this one I actually had a loss because this is the 1-minute. As you guys can see, this small fair value gap right here, so I should have shorted here and had stops there and just targeting here. It would have been a win. But I was a little bit late here. I forgot what I was doing, but I was a little bit late, so I entered off another 1-minute fair value gap here and just stops above that high that made that 1-minute fair value gap. So I did get stopped out. Yeah, so that one was a loss, but if I did enter at the right time, then it would have been correct. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. And this second strategy is also a 1-minute fair value gap, but we basically took Asian session lows and then we entered a 1-hour fair value gap. So that's our higher time frame POI right there. Our higher time frame POI being this this 1-hour fair value gap right here. We took our Asian session lows. We have a draw on liquidity right here. Oh yeah, here. So there was also a 4-hour fair value gap. So 4-hour and 1-hour fair value gap. And the reason why I actually only took profits here and not here was because I knew we had news later on. So if we have news later on, usually in London, it wouldn't be too volatile as well. So in London trades for indices, I do like to target shorter, like lower objectives. So this one was a win, 1 to 2, just a pretty simple London strategy. Now going on to Thursday, I actually had a loss on Thursday. So we'll just have a look. So we got into the higher time frame POI right there, that 1-hour fair value gap. We also took out this low, which I think was... No, it wasn't Asian session lows. So maybe that was the mistake because we didn't really take out Asian session lows, but we did take out some sort of liquidity and we did enter some sort of higher time frame POI. So that's why I took that trade based off of a 1-minute fair value gap. Oh, never mind. It was based off of a 5-minute fair value gap. So yeah, 5-minute fair value gap, just targeting that. But it was really choppy price action, so yeah. And then it ended up going down. So Thursday was that, and I didn't trade Thursday at night as well. So today, which is Friday, we've got a pretty clean trade, so I'll just walk you through that. This one we need to go a little bit higher time frame. So obviously we've been bullish for the whole week, right? And really for like the past this month. So yeah, and then this is our first sort of like downwards candle. It closed pretty strongly downwards, so I was expecting it to take out this low and go into this daily fair value gap right here. So that was my draw on liquidity right here, this line, that daily fair value gap. And it was pretty fitting because we also have it was also an imbalance on the 4-hour, and we also have this low right here. And then so that was my target. Oh, and on 4-hour as well, because we created a 4-hour bearish fair value gap, so that also gave me more confluence. As you guys can see right here, 4-hour fair value gap right here. These two lines, it creates that fair value gap. But those two lines are also pretty significant because this line also indicates that 1-hour order block, and this line is also the Asian session high right there. So today I have a pretty strong draw on liquidity right here because of that daily fair value gap and that daily low. I have a 4-hour fair value gap, and I have that Asian session high that I think it wants to take out. So after taking out Asian session high liquidity, we entered that 4-hour fair value gap, which I am expecting it to respect, and then it taps into that 1-hour order block. So that's already a lot of confluences. And then now going to the 5-minute, don't remember if it was a 5-minute or a 1-minute. I think it's a 1-minute. Yeah, so it was a 1-minute. Let's see, it was a 1-minute fair value gap and break of structure, I think. So yeah, so we got that fair value gap right here, but I didn't enter there yet, even though I was on the charts, but I didn't want to enter there yet because I feel like this is too small. There was no it was just not enough confluence for me. So after I entered there, we broke this low, so I entered there, stops above that high, and then just targeting that low, that draw of day, that draw on liquidity of the low of the previous day. And that was my trade for today. The point of this video is just to show you guys my indices trading strategy. It's pretty much the exact same as Forex, but I realized that when I talk a lot about this, context really matters. So depending on like whether we have news or not, whether we have whether it's a no news Monday, stuff like that matters. and also where we are in the week. So whether we're in premium of the week or whether we're in discount of the week. So most of the times I did long even though it was above the weekly open, but we have to keep in mind like the strength is the strength there. A lot of the times the strength was there, that was why I longed, for example at these times. And also this time I shorted today because after a whole entire week usually there's like a wick, right? There is stuff that I can work on definitely with like psychology and stuff. There is a lot of well, I wouldn't say a lot, but there's some times where I did like enter and then re-enter and then stuff. But overall this week was up in profit. Yeah, so that is probably it for today's video. I will continue to trade Forex, and I think Forex definitely is something that I still want to continue to trade, but it depends on the price action as well. I have to look at the price action and decide which one I want to trade, depending on how it looks like right now. Trading indices does seem to make sense for me, and it's only the first week. I will do more backtesting and more study, but I think I also want to encourage you guys to not be so stubborn with it, because this took me a really long time. It's already May and I only started switching to indices, but I have had people recommending me to switch to indices for a pretty long time, and the reason why I didn't was just because I thought there would be another learning curve, and I just didn't want to ditch all that I learned from Forex and start all over again from indices, because I thought that might hinder me. I thought that might, take longer. I thought if I just stick to Forex, it might work faster, because there is definitely people doing well in Forex. So I just thought, maybe if I stick to Forex, then it'll work at the end. But it's not that it didn't work, but it's just I found that this might work better. So I'll just continue testing and see if it does indeed work better. But right now it does seem like it does work better. So yeah, just encourage you guys to sort of don't be stubborn about something, but at the same time know when to pivot, not necessarily give up. I wouldn't say I'm giving up on Forex trading. It's just learning to pivot to something better if you see it fit. And yeah, like I've been trading Forex for a pretty long time, so it's not like I'm completely giving up on it. But yeah, we'll just see when market conditions are better. It just depends on like market conditions as well. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video, and I'll post more soon. See you guys in the next one. Bye.